Joining us right now to discuss the rollout of testing is LabCorp CEO Adam Schechter. This week, LabCorp announced it has now ramped up production of its at-home test for COVID-19. Adam, it's great to see you.
Good morning, Andrew. Hi, Becky and Joe. Thanks for having me back again. It really is a pleasure to be here. So we really are making significant progress on testing, and I'm really thankful to all of our LabCorp employees that are enabling our labs to be open 7 days a week, running 3 shifts a day. Yesterday, we announced expanding access to our Pixel at-Home kit. When we originally launched that kit, we launched it to people that were either first responders or healthcare professionals on the front line. We did that because we didn't have enough kits to roll it out more broadly. The good news now is we have over 200,000 kits available, and yesterday we announced that it's available for anybody that meets the CDC criteria. They can go online and order one. We ship it to their house, they ship it back to us, and we run the test.
Adam, so let's just talk about this test in particular, and then I want to talk about the tests that take place in a doctor setting. But this test, are you supposed to take this test if you have symptoms, if you're asymptomatic?
So the test is for anybody that has symptoms, but also people that are asymptomatic that might have been exposed to people that have symptoms or that have the virus.
And what is the accuracy rate?
The accuracy rate is as high as the accuracy of all of our tests, so it's extraordinarily high. It's run on the same machines that we run the tests that come in from either physicians' offices or through the drive-thrus at pharmacies.
Right.
Hey, Adam, the last time we had you on, we didn't get the chance to ask you about it because I just wasn't aware at that point. But New York, New Jersey, several other states won't allow you to do testing at home. Has that been addressed yet? Have you been able to find a way that that could happen?
Yeah, so we've talked to all those states. They will be open in the next several days. I believe 2 or 3 of them already are open.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Adam, the other question I wanted to ask you about, though, is, and it does relate to the accuracy issue when it comes to the antibody test, for example. We had Scott Gottlieb on the program, and he said that he literally would have to take the test 3 times to feel comfortable with the result. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so there are a lot of different antibody tests in the marketplace. Some of them are available today that haven't even been approved through the EUA process at the FDA. If you look at our antibody tests, they are highly specific. In fact, they're above 99% specificity. So our tests are very accurate. And I believe that as more and more people do the serology tests, you'll be able to see which ones are more accurate than the others. We've tested ours versus others on the marketplace, and we're running 3 or 4 different types of serology tests from different platforms, and all of them are above 99%.
Right. You know, the other big question, of course, is businesses that want to get access to these tests, whether we're going to have enough of them now or come fall. Where do you think we really stand on that? And I would also tell you, Scott Gottlieb, who we have on the program literally every day these days, says right now we're at about 2 million tests per week, so we're not quite where we need to be. It's growing. In July, we'll probably have 3 to 4 million tests per week. But as you know, to do this properly, we might need to have multiples of these numbers.
Yeah, I actually think we have the ability to run more tests than that today. One of the biggest issues is the front end, meaning getting the samples taken. Right now, LabCorp alone can run 75,000 to 80,000 tests per day, and we're targeting by the middle of next month to be able to run 150,000 of these PCR tests a day. Those are the ones to tell if you have the virus. So just LabCorp alone is going to have significantly more capacity in the next 2 to 3 weeks than we have today. So I believe that we are ready to start to open up states with the testing that's available today, and that's only going to increase over the coming weeks.
In terms of, though, the number you think that needs to be the goal, I've seen it anywhere from being able to do 2 to 3 million tests a day to over 5 million tests a day.
I think that if we can get to somewhere between 12 million tests per month, that's going to be enough to test as we go into phase 1. And then as we go into the later phases, we'll have to increase that. But I'm not convinced that we need to have 2 to 3 million tests per day.
In terms of businesses having access to these tests, how are you prioritizing that? How, if you're a CEO watching this program right now, should you be thinking about that, getting in touch with a company like a LabCorp to be able to access these tests if, for example, you're Elon Musk and you're trying to open up your plant, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you a sneak peek of an announcement that we're going to make tomorrow. But we're already working with employers. And what we really want to do is make sure that we help the employers get employees back to work. So tomorrow we're going to announce our LabCorp Employer Services business. And the types of services that we're going to include for employers are screening for COVID, things like temperature checks, or helping with questionnaires as people come into work, testing for COVID, both PCR testing and serology testing, and then also things like in the fall offering flu vaccinations on site. So we are going to do everything we possibly can to help employers get employees back to work.
Do you think we're going to get to a point where we're going to be testing people that are symptomatic and asymptomatic just all the time, meaning like on a weekly basis in certain industries?
I think there are certain industries that will be looking for that, particularly if they have people that are going into hospitals often, or perhaps are even coming into very important workplaces where you need your laboratories, for example, to stay up and running. I think that it's still unknown exactly how many tests are going to be needed, but I do think different industries are going to look at testing differently, and even certain employees will look at testing differently for certain employees than others.